Welcome to week 4 of month 3. Today is all about letting the body participate in choice. Over the past 3 weeks, you've done something subtle but profound. You've restored safety, you've learned to stay present with sensation, and you've reflected on how your body communicates and how trust is rebuilt. Now we arrive at the natural question, what do I do with this information? This week is all about integration. Not dramatic change, not immediate action, but letting the body participate in how you move through your life. Because embodiment is not complete until it informs choice. And choice is not aligned unless the body is included. Let's begin by naming something clearly. Embodiment does not mean obeying every bodily signal. It means including the body as a source of information, just like logic or values or context. Integration is not about giving the body full authority, it's about ending its exclusion. And that distinction is important because many people resist integration because they fear losing control. They worry, if I listen to my body, I'll stop functioning. If I listen, everything will change. If I listen, I won't be able to meet my responsibilities. And those fears make sense, especially if responsibility has been carried through override for a very long time. So this week is about learning how to realign without collapse, how to include the body without abandoning structure. Now let's slow this down. As you hear the word integration, notice your body. Do you feel relief, tension, a sense of pressure to do it right? That response tells you a lot about how you've related to change in the past. Integration does not ask for perfection. It only asks for honesty. Now, let's define realignment more precisely. Realignment is not changing what you do, it's changing how you do it. From override to participation, from endurance to capacity, and from habit to choice. That shift can be very small, but very powerful. Let's make this practical. Think of something you do regularly. Hold it in your mind. Now, notice your body as you think, I have to do this. What do you feel? Tightness? Pressure? Bracing? Now, hold the same activity in mind and say, I am choosing to do this, and I'm allowed to notice how it affects me. Notice the difference. Nothing external changed, but internally something shifts. That shift is realignment. Realignment often begins internally, long before anything changes on the outside. Now let's talk about timing. One of the most important signals the body offers is timing. Not just yes or no, but now, later, slower, or not yet. Many people override timing more than anything else. They push the body when it says pause. They rush when the body says slow. They decide when the body says wait. This doesn't make them irresponsible. It just means they learn to value momentum over regulation. So integration includes learning how to respect timing without stopping your life. Now, let's practice that. Think of a decision or a task that you're facing. Ask internally, what is my body saying about timing? You might notice urgency, heaviness, neutrality, resistance, or openness. You do not need to act on it, just notice. Timing awareness alone restores agency. Now let's talk about capacity, because this is where integration becomes sustainable. Your body is constantly signaling capacity. How much you can give, how much you can hold, how much you can engage before regulation starts to fray. Ignoring capacity does not make you stronger, it makes alignment brittle. So integration asks a different question than we're used to asking. Not what should I do, but what can I do without leaving myself? That question changes so much. I'd like you to ask yourself, where in my life am I doing something successfully but unsustainably? That place matters because unsustainability is a form of misalignment, even when things look fine on the outside. Now let's work with micro realignment. Most people think realignment requires big changes, but the nervous system trusts small adjustments far more than dramatic ones, so we'll work in degrees. Choose one area of your life where you feel mild misalignment, not the biggest one. Ask, what would be a 5% adjustment that would reduce self-override? Examples could include slowing the pace slightly, taking one honest pause, acknowledging fatigue without even fixing it, asking for more time instead of pushing. Now imagine allowing that adjustment. and notice your body. If you feel both relief and discomfort, that's often alignment. Alignment does not eliminate fear, it eliminates self-betrayal. Now let's address something essential. Integration is not about consistency, it's about repair. You will override your body again. You will miss signals. You will default to old patterns under stress. That does not undo this work. What matters is how you return. Return without punishment. Return without shame. Return with curiosity. That return is integration. Now let's reflect on that. When I notice I've overridden my body, how do I respond to myself? That response determines whether integration stabilizes or collapses. Now let's introduce a powerful integration practice. Before making a choice, even a small one, get into the habit of asking yourself internally, what happens in my body when I imagine choosing this? You don't need clarity, just notice contraction, expansion, or neutrality. Then ask, what happens if I imagine choosing a different pace or option? This is not indecision, this is discernment. And discernment is embodied. As we approach the end of this session, I want to name something clearly. Integration is not about becoming more sensitive, it's about becoming more accurate. More accurate about capacity, timing, truth, and sustainability. Accuracy shows aligned action. Without accuracy, alignment becomes performance. Now let's close with a simple daily integration practice for this week. Once a day, pause and ask yourself, what is my body signaling right now? What choice would honor that signal, even slightly? And how can I make that choice without overcorrecting? That's it. No big changes required, just inclusion. As we close month 3, I want to say this. Coming back into the body is not a destination, it's a relationship. And relationships deepen through consistency, honesty, and repair, not through perfection. You are not meant to live from your body or from your mind. You are meant to live with both in conversation. That conversation is alignment. Next, we will begin exploring fear, not as something to eliminate, but as something the body has been used to communicating all along. But for now, let's let integration settle. Let the body have a seat at the table. Nothing more is required. This alone will change how you live.